All right, welcome back here to the Hill on NewsNation. Turning now to the general election and with a bit of a backtrack from the president. A 180 in just 48 hours from President Biden on what exactly to call the man accused of murdering 22-year-old Laken Riley. Watch.
Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. Well, I don't technically not supposed to be here.
Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented.
That just 48 hours time. The president over the weekend also dropped a quote-unquote red line on Israel, saying the prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is, quote, hurting Israel more than helping Israel. All right, Chris, I thought a general election starts, which is what the Biden campaign, as you know, was saying, get through the State of the Union, and then it's the general, starts to crystallize. I thought the general starts and you move to the middle. What we saw from President Biden was the general starting and then moving to the left? Is that what just happened here?
Well, come on, Blake. So let's take the Castro brothers.
Okay.
Democrat, not those Castro brothers. Julian Castro.
Okay, there you go. All right. Thank you for clearing that up.
Not Fidel and Raul.
Yeah. Okay.
But so they're going to come after Biden when he uses the word illegal. And it was agreed among Americans of the left that we don't use that term anymore. That's a hurtful term. No person is illegal. Says every well-intentioned, I live on Capitol Hill, every well-intentioned person of the left has the sign in their front yard, no person is illegal. They agreed on that. And Biden, who I don't know whether you know this, is old, forgot what the new acceptable terminology is. And he did not say a person lacking the proper documentation or whatever they wanted him to say. I don't think this is about moving left. This is about cleaning up a gaffe and throwing a bone to your base.
And then Israel, though, right? Then he goes after Netanyahu, and we saw the uncommitted votes in many of these states. That's a problem for him.
I assume that Biden, who has a long friendship with Benjamin Netanyahu, that they go way back, that they both understand each other very well, right? And that Biden needs political cover here on the left, as you say, and it probably doesn't hurt Netanyahu to be able to say in Israel, I don't care what he says, we're going to do all this stuff. But it doesn't change the fact that what Biden needs is this to be done. Yes. He needs the matter done long before they get to the convention in Chicago this summer. He needs this matter to be concluded.
What's going on here? You cover the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this didn't come up. I was in Atlanta this weekend for one of his rallies, the dueling rallies with Trump. That didn't come up, but this interview was released right before that. Trump hit at him for not apologizing for the word, but not apologizing for the actions.
So hold that thought for a second. Donald Trump over the weekend. Watch.
And I say he was an illegal alien. He was an illegal immigrant. He was an illegal migrant. And he shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
He's going to say that from here to the election, is he not?
And he met with Laken Riley's parents that night. So, you know, Biden talking about it in his rally, saying, well, Trump keeps calling immigrants illegals or vermins or poisoning the blood of America, so he kind of punched back at him with that. And then in terms of Netanyahu, I'm going to Michigan on Wednesday. We're going to meet with the person who is leading the charge on the uncommitted vote. Whether or not this continues to impact him, we're still 8 months away from the general, but it is impacting him now in these primaries. We are seeing more and more people growing concerned about how he's handling this.
Swing State frequent flyer miles.
I know.
You're going to be between those 8 from now until November.
The rift between Biden and Netanyahu's been growing. They may have known each other. I don't know how friendly they've been over the years, but their politics is very different. And Netanyahu has his own reasons for pursuing Rafah and destroying Gaza, and whether he believes he's got to rebuild it or not. But this has been brewing. It started privately, as you all reported, and then it's grown to this crescendo where Netanyahu is hurting Israel by taking this position. You have videos of 30,000 innocent people being killed. The support for Israel is waning, not because they don't have a right to defend themselves, but because you have innocent people being killed as they assert that right to protect themselves.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.